Mary had a little man.
False. We believe that all men are created
equal
to the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Help is on the way.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
To understand how we got here, you have to start with the legal word salad that is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. Quote, no person shall hold any office who, having previously taken an oath as an officer of the United States to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. English translation, if you took an oath and you break that oath by engaging in an insurrection, then you don't get to hold public office in the future, a view that's been embraced by some leading conservative legal voices.
It's not President Joe Biden. It's not the Democrats. It's not the anti-Trumpers. It's the Constitution of the United States.
The 14th Amendment's framers wanted to make sure that after the Civil War, ex-Confederate leaders wouldn't get voted back into office. But the text that went into effect in 1868 raises a bunch of tricky questions now at the heart of the legal fight in 2023. Like, is the president an officer of the United States? If so, why not say so? Did Trump engage in an insurrection or rebellion, even if he didn't break into the Capitol himself? And who exactly is supposed to enforce this part of the Constitution anyway? Congress or the courts? In the wave of lawsuits to ban Trump from the ballot, most courts have dodged these questions or ruled in his favor until Colorado, where the state's highest court found him ineligible for office. The case now on the U.S. Supreme Court's docket, where the ultimate result for Colorado and the rest of the country is far from clear-cut.
Okay, so we had the argument. We had oral this morning. How you feeling? You good? We did. We had 2 hours of oral is what it was. Wow, I just lockjaw, baby. But I don't think the Supreme Court was even slightly interested in the question before it. Really, I don't. And I told you yesterday that they wouldn't be interested in the question before it, and that they would never decide whether or not Donald Trump engaged in an insurrection or he didn't, because the Supreme Court is not a trier of fact court. In fact, most courts don't try facts, juries do. That's what we are. When we're called to jury duty, the duty is to try the facts and see if the facts hold water. Does it hold water? No. Positraction. See what I mean? So the Supreme Court decided, I'm sure the day that it took this case, that it would punt, okay? And that it would punt to some other portion of the government, some other branch, some other, you can't punt to the executive branch, right? Couldn't do that. No. Could you punt to the states? Well, you sort of kind of could, except then in our federalist system, you could get different results in different states. And therefore, the federal choices for president, which is a federal office, would not be universally available. Maybe in California, Donald Trump's name would not be available. Or maybe in Nevada, they would rig an election. They would rig it like they did for today. Today is a caucus in Nevada. And the only candidate that you can vote for in a GOP caucus in Nevada today is Donald Trump. You can't vote for Nikki Haley. She was in a primary yesterday, and she lost to none of the above. Which, by the way, I have a little factoid for those of you who really care about facts, like really, really care about them. So because she didn't lose to a person, she lost to an idea, none of the above. She actually could say she won the primary. Yeah, she can. I wouldn't if I were her though, because none of the above got what 61% of the vote to her 30. Yeah, it wasn't a good deal. Wasn't a good number. Wasn't great rating. Wasn't like a real rousing show of support. Nope, not at all. But today is the caucuses in Nevada, and Donald Trump is the only person that you could vote for. So he was listening to the Supreme Court argument this morning, and, people didn't want to go to him because they knew he was going to tell lies like right off the top, and he did. And it was so funny. I mean, just watching, the commercial media, the corporate media decide whether or not he was campaigning or whether or not he was, commenting on the arguments he just heard by virtue of his lawyer making his argument to the Supreme Court justices. And he just could not stay on topic. He just went and he started saying that he was going to go to the caucuses in Nevada, and he was polling at above 90%. He said almost 99% on polling. He goes very strong support for me in Nevada, without telling people that he's the only person that you could vote for today in Nevada at the caucuses. Anyway, so they cut away. And then they had to go back because they were talking, and Jake Tapper's in there going, listen, I think you got to go back because now he's commenting on the case. So they went, all right. And he was talking to like a Supreme Court expert, Joan Biskupik at the Supreme Court, who was inside the court, giving us the, 411 and what went on in the court, what the feeling was, and what did, all these mega lawyers who were there to listen to this argument, what did they think, and did you talk to them, and what did they say? What's the likelihood that they would find? Where do you think they're going to punt it to? Did they want an off ramp? Were they looking for the exits? Like what was going on? And she was informing me, about, and millions of others, about what was really going on in that courtroom. And they had to go back to Donald Trump. They went back to him, and he started with his word salad and started making crap up again. And they were like, okay, we got to go. So it was painful, put it this way. All around. Why? It was painful because the Supreme Court, who has like zero problem taking away my right to choose, zero problem with my right to privacy, taking it away, zero problem with taking away people's voting rights or protections for their voting rights, or for their protection to have their votes be just as powerful as the next guy, meaning gerrymandering issues, maps. They have no problem. The federal court has no problem weighing in on state maps. Okay, no problem at all. But on this one, this was too hard for them. This was too difficult. This was bizarre. This was not meant for us. Oh no. So, I was listening to other people, comment before, trying to, put their bets down about what would happen. And, it's never a good idea to bet on this Supreme Court because they're bad crap. And some of them are on the take. And others aren't. So, the ones on, like Clarence, his wife. I mean, this is an amazing stat. I don't know how many people gave this to or told you or reminded you today. But Clarence Thomas did not recuse himself from this. And isn't that fascinating, considering his wife actually worked to organize the Stop the Steal rally that he weaponized and turned into a missile aimed at the Capitol. I mean, it's an amazing thing to watch this Supreme Court operate. And the sooner we actually, get rid of or see, the power of a Clarence Thomas diminished by either expanding a court, which is a second-term thing, not a first-term thing, the better off we are. Because it was perfectly obvious today. They are not going to make a consequential decision about a man who has no care, no concern, no clue about what protecting the Constitution requires of him. Not a clue. And they ended up so down in the weeds, they started debating like, well, this was an insurrection, right? We're not wrong about that. Oh, no, you're wrong about that. It wasn't an insurrection. No, it wasn't. But didn't you concede that it was in your... No, we did not. No, we didn't concede jack crap. No. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.